So every now and then you'll come across some news stories online, the type of stories that will pick you up. Like if you're having a bad day, stories like this will just pick you up and make your day. And this story did just that for me. Like this story is coming out of Jamaica and it's courtesy of the Jamaica Gleaner online. And this is of a young lady in Jamaica, living in rural Jamaica, a young lady that's a farmer, and she managed to do farming and send herself to the University of the West Indies to attain a degree, an associate degree in hospitality management. So this really put a smile on my face because when we talk about what is going on in the Caribbean in terms of food security, and we often talk about young people not wanting to go into farming. So to see this story and to see that this young lady, she was the recipient of the Prime Minister's Youth Award, that pretty much made my day. So this is coming from the Jamaica Gleaner online.
I feel very elated at the moment. It's a wonderful feeling for both me and my family. I did this for them, and I'm very proud that I was able to win this award.
Were you selected or were you recommended? Was it a suggestion of someone who sent in your name, or did the Office of the Prime Minister just make contact with you?
The Office of the Prime Minister, they made direct contact with me and informed me that I have won this award, which I'm very proud. Never in my wildest dream have I thought about winning the Prime Minister's award.
Do you have any idea how many other persons were nominated for this?
I believe 150, and then it went down to 10. Then they chose the best one.
What is it they say you have done why you are deserving of this award?
When the pandemic came in, right, I was supposed to go on the work and travel program, but that never fell through. So I said to myself, I have to try to do something to bring in the finance so I can finance myself to university. I came to the market, I sold my produce, I went to school in Kingston twice per week. The market is in Montego Bay, so it was very hard to travel back and forth. At the same time, I had to study really hard in order to maintain my GPA. Well, when I was finished now, I was awarded first class honors for Bachelor of Science degree in Hospitality and Tourism Management.
Are you going to go into hospitality and tourism management, or you're going to continue to be a vendor in the market?
Well, it is my dream to become a food and beverage manager at a prestigious hotel. At some point in time, I really want to do my master's in culinary art. Maybe one day I get to go to Canada or France, maybe Spain. I don't know, but for now, at the moment, I am just selling produce at the market. But I do intend to venture into my field of study.
How long ago you gained the BA? It's a Bachelor of Science degree.
Bachelor of Science degree. I got it in December. That's when the graduation was. But I completed my studies in August.
Are you becoming emotional?
Very emotional, very proud. I said I did for my family. They too are very proud. It's a very good feeling, I must say.
What has your childhood been like? Where are you coming from?
I'm from humble beginnings.
No, continue. We understand what you're going through.
I'm from humble beginnings. I grew up with my friends in the community of Sandy Bay. So we went to river, we went fishing, we went swimming, we picked coconut, we did all that. But I still find time to study. When I went home in the evenings, I always say I have to study something. So I might just read a 2 or 3 page before I go back to class in the morning.
Okay, so that report was from the Jamaica Gleaner online. And one correction, I think earlier I said associate degree, but it was a bachelor's degree that she was able to accomplish while being a farmer, while going to the market to sell. And for anyone who is from Jamaica and know the journey from the North Coast, from Montego Bay, from Ocho Rios, to come to Kingston, to go to the University of the West Indies, that is not easy. And then at the same time to go to the market, and I think she was at the downtown market, so that is a lot of hard work, a lot of hard to work, to be a farmer, to travel all the way from the North Coast to come to Kingston to sell our produce and also to go to the University of the West Indies. You have to tip your hats off to this young lady. And the thing is, like, this is a conversation that I've been having for a while, talking about young people in the Caribbean, not just Jamaica, but right across the Caribbean. We're seeing an issue with farming. There are a lot of young people. Young people don't see farming as a viable option. And I think sometimes maybe the governments have to be blamed too, because when you look at developed countries like Canada and America and other countries, they invest in farming, they subsidize farmers, they give them money to make sure that they can continue to feed the nation. And when you look at the Caribbean in 2025 as opposed to like in the 90s, the Caribbean, like, I've been to 5 places in the past 4 years, and everywhere I go, like, I'm seeing American fruits, I'm seeing vegetables from America, I'm seeing seasoning from China, like garlic, onions, and in 2025 for the Caribbean as a region, for us not to be able to do simple things like farming and make sure that even if it's like 50% of what goes on the dinner table is from the Caribbean, that would be an achievement. But when you look in 2025 and you see that, like, most of the things, like, you look at stuff like potato, you look at things like, as I said, onion, garlic, basic stuff that we can grow in the Caribbean, we're getting these things from outside of the Caribbean. So it is good to see a young person in farming and also hospitality. Hospitality is another sore point that I have within the Caribbean also. In particular, when you go to Jamaica and you go to like a lot of those all-inclusive resorts and some of the other resorts that's not all-inclusive, and you see like some of the top positions, like the general manager, like some of the restaurant managers, and some of the head chefs, a lot of these positions, the top positions that pay the most money, they are still taking people from outside of the Caribbean. These are not Caribbean people holding down these top positions. So I hope that this young lady will get an opportunity. As you saw in that clip, she said that she would love to be a manager at one of those hotels in Jamaica. So I hope she will get those opportunity one day to be a manager, because it is crazy that in the Caribbean, like, being a manager is not rocket science in a hotel. Like, I believe that anyone that comes out of any hospitality program, if you do any type of degree, whether it's an associate degree, a bachelor's degree, whatever you do in the Caribbean, you should be able to be like a manager at one of those hotels, whether it's like a customer service manager, a food and beverage manager, front desk, whatever. I don't see the reason in 2025 that we are taking people from outside of the Caribbean. We're taking people from Europe, from America. And when we bring these people into the Caribbean, they are being paid like way more than people in the Caribbean are being paid. So it was good to see this young lady and to see all that she was able to accomplish. As I said, being a farmer and being able to go to university at the same time. And my hope is that, like, I would love to see a lot of young men like going this route, going into farming, going into hospitality, because we see an increase in crime and violence within the Caribbean. And what I've observed, like traveling, whether it's in Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados is the last place that I've been, and to see like a lot of young men during working hours, like you can go on the road 12 o'clock midday and you can see a string of young men just hanging out, playing games, drinking, smoking. And you can tell that, look, these men are not, it's not like they're day off, like they're just hanging out. So I hope that young men in the Caribbean will take up the challenge, because there's enough jobs in the Caribbean to keep a lot of these young people out of crime and violence. There's enough land in the Caribbean for farming. So what do you think about this young lady, that she was able to do farming and at the same time send herself to school to acquire her bachelor's degree in hospitality? Sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.